Hi, welcome to another video about Audi A2. In this video I will replace the brake and clutch fluid because they were not replaced for 8 years that the car was not used. Brake fluid was replaced, it is the same basically, but I think that they did the service station only the brakes. They bleeded only the brakes. Was done just before we stopped using the car. So probably the color of the brake fluid will not be so bad. Even if the car was just sitting. But it is 8 years old and it is good that I replace it because it could get some water in. So what do we need for this? For this we need the correct brake fluid, which is this one, DOT4. I just went for factory Volkswagen fluid, which you can see it's B000750M3, and as you can see here it is also written DOT4. So this is extremely important that you get the correct brake fluid. How this will be done? Well, I need to bleed every the bleeder walls at every wheel, so that means front and rear. And for the clutch breather wall is in here, it's below, as you can see it. Let me just find it. Let me just put the okay, now you can see it exactly in the center of the display. That is the breather wall, so it is down here. If we go here and if you look, it's down there, exactly in the center. You can see that it has a rubber cover on it. So this will need to be done, and I will start. You need to start. So if we look here, we have a clutch cylinder, brake cylinder, the main brake cylinder, and the ABS unit is here. So what does this mean? Why is this important? Because you always start with bleeding the wheel that it is furthest from the main brake cylinder and ABS pump. And since in this car both are in here, so I will start with the rear. I will start with the rear right wheel, then go to the rear left wheel, then rear left wheel, and then right front wheel and left front wheel. And after that I will go to the clutch cylinder, clutch bleeder wall that is closest to the to here. So let's go to work, and that's it. So usually I would start with taking out the old brake fluid, not completely, just so that there is at the minimum level. Why this? Because when you are bleeding out, that you are pushing the old, the already newer brake fluid in. But if we open this, as you can see, there is this plastic thing inside, and I cannot take the brake fluid out, so I will just leave it and go with a slightly different method. If we look, the brake fluid is correctly, it's exactly until the minimum sign, which is at the top, so this is okay. And also if we look at the color of the brake fluid, it's not so bad, but I will replace it anyway because it is at least 9 years old. So first what I will do, I will clean around this plastic bottle, even if it is not really dirty a lot, but I will clean anything around it so that it will be clean, so that the brake fluid, brake clutch fluid does not get dirty. And maybe I haven't. After this, I will put paper towels around here when I will be putting in the brake fluid. Why? Because brake fluid is very aggressive and it can damage it can damage other parts, and also the color gets discolorated. So I will just put this around here where I will be putting in the brake fluid, so that if I will spill something, it will not go down to the parts from the engine. And so let me just put it like this, a little bit up. Okay, so this should do it like this, and that's it. Let's go forward. So what do we need for the bleeding? We need usually it can be done with a bleeding device, but since I don't have it, I have done a do-it-yourself variant, and this is a plastic bottle. I made a hole in here and just put a zip tie here so that the fuel the line does not go out. It is until to the bottom, and this will go to the plastic to the nipple, to the bleeding nipple, and the fuel brake fluid will be bleeded out. So this then we need the brake fluid, clean cloth that I will need clean the nipple with, and we need also the tools. I thought that for the rear it was 6, but it is 7. So for the rear and for the front it should be 10. So this is everything that we need, and now let's go to work. As you can see, the rear right wheel is already, I've already taken it off, and the car is lifted. So we will start, as I said, with the rear right wheel, because it is the furthest from the brake cylinder. And where is the nipple for bleeding? It's this one. You see here? You just take this rubber cover off, and we see the nipple here. So I'll put it back, and I will just change the camera angle, and let's go to work. And now I will just attach this hose to the bleeding nipple. First I will remove the rubber cover. Now I will clean thoroughly the nipple so that it does not, that the brake fluid does not get contaminated if any goes back. That's it. And now first I will use this tool. I don't like to use open-ended because it can damage the bleeding nipple, so I will use this rounded, and I will just put it in, and that's it. And after this I will put in the hose, the rubber hose, and this needs to be very tight seated. You see, it was very tight, so this prevents any air to go back into the brake system. So this is it. We have it everything prepared, and now we can start with the bleeding procedure. It is important that this goes a little bit up. Why? That this hose goes up above the bleeding nipple. Why? Because if there is any air comes out, it will not go into the braking system. Okay, so everything is prepared now. The hose is up so that if there be any air here, it will stay in here. It will not go back to the brake system. So now I will open the breathing valve. As you can see, I have opened it, and here if we see, a little bit of brake fluid went already here, and now we can press the pedal and the brake fluid is going out. You can press it. Okay, when it will be down, I don't like to press it fully, so now I will lock this. That's it, it is locked. Now we can release the pedal. As you can see, there is a little bit small amount of air here, and now I will slowly, just a moment, now I will open it again, and we can press the pedal. The brake fluid is going, as you can see. Okay, it's enough. I will lock it back, and now we can slowly release the brake pedal, and I will open the breather valve again, and we can press the brake pedal, and as you can see, the brake fluid is going forward. I will lock it, release the brake pedal, and open it again, press the brake pedal, and release and press the brake pedal again, and release and press brake pedal again. So as you can see, we are slowly getting the brake fluid in. Release the brake pedal. Okay, so a little bit of brake fluid went already out. So now I'll go and check what is the amount of brake fluid in here, because we should not go below minimum. Okay, it's still enough, so we will need to repeat this procedure quite a few times more. It's still okay. Okay, let me just do it like this. Okay. Press brake pedal, release, so now I'll check again if the brake fluid is that it is not too low, and I will add it to the top so that it does not get any air inside the system. Okay. 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 And that's it. It's at the even over the maximum, but anyway, it's not a problem because it will go down when I will flush it out. Okay, now let's go forward. So this is it. As you can see, this is the brake fluid was flushed through this. It is really clean, nice, without any air. So now I will just tighten back the bleeding wall nipple. This is it. And take this hose out, and I will just put this down and pinch it so that the brake fluid will not go out, and just release it back to this plastic bottle. And now, of course, I need to I will clean this. Let just leave it like this. And now I need to add the brake fluid to the brake reservoir so that it does not go below the minimum. As you can see, it is visible that it is at the minimum mark, which is the least. I would not go lower. And now I will just add the brake fluid so that it will be full. Okay, I need to add more. Okay, that's it. Now it is full. Let me just close it, and let's go to the right left wheel. We should use much less brake fluid, because now this part, the major part of this, is already filled with new brake fluid inside. So this is why I put this paper back, because if you spill something, so that it does not go over the cables and so on. That's it. Okay, let's go forward. So with the rear, both rear brakes bleeded, the rear part is done. Now we go to the front right, because this is more away from the clutch, from the brake cylinder, and it is the same, except that the bleeding nipple is here. So I will take off the rubber part, and I will just clean the nipple completely. That's it. And of course, instead of 7, we don't use 10, but we use 11, because I thought that it was 10, but it is 11. So I will just, okay, a little bit, and I will just put it back on. That's it. And I need to install the hose on. It's the same. So we just put firmly on. That's it. Okay, and we are ready to bleed the front brakes. Process is the same as with the rear, and let's go. So you need to open just for a quarter, and then you need to press the brakes, and the brake fluid is going out. I will close it, release the brake, and press the brake again, and release the brake, press the brake again, release the brake, okay. So this is now finished, so I will just, that's it, and I will take this hose out and pinch it so that no brake fluid will go out. That's it, and just release it back into the plastic bottle. So this is it. The front right is done. Of course, I will just clean this bleeding nipple and put back on the protective rubber. That's it. Front right done, and now we are left with the left front. So now that I've replaced the brake fluid in all 4 corners, now I will replace also, I will bleed also the clutch fluid. Audi A2 has the same reservoir, the same system for clutch and brake fluid, and where is the bleeding valve? It is here, down here. So you can see here, up here is the reservoir for brake and clutch fluid, and down here is the nipple for the bleeding out the clutch fluid. It is a little bit hard to access, but from the top it is possible. So now I will remove this rubber cover. Just a moment. Okay, that's it, and you can now see the bleeding valve, bleeding nipple. I will clean the nipple now, as before with all other. That's it, so that it is really thoroughly clean. And now we can start the process again. So I will put it up there, down there, and now let's see. Now it will be easier, like this. need to put the hose on completely. Okay. Okay, it is on. Let me just push it more so that there will be no air going in. That's it. The hose is on. Okay, so let's try now. I will open it. Just a moment. That's it. Okay, and now let's press the clutch. Okay, I will open it a little bit more. Okay, just a moment. The clutch has, okay, the fluid has went up. Let me now close it. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, that's it. Okay, and now we will repeat again procedure. Just a moment. This bleeding valve needs to be open much more, and now we need to press the clutch. Okay, okay, it is going a little bit up. Yes, that's okay, that's great. Okay, and as you can see here, the fluid goes, I put the bottle there and the fluid goes there. Okay, and I will now close it. Just a moment. That's it. Close it. It's a little bit annoying here, not really comfortable, but it goes. Okay, a little bit more. And now we release the clutch. Let me check the fluid. The fluid is still okay, but I will need to add it soon. So I will now open again. After quite a lot of time, this will be the last one. And you need to unscrew for almost a whole turn for this breather valve to release it. If you unscrew it only a quarter, as with the braking valves, it does not go any fluid out. So you need to unscrew it quite a lot. Okay, let's do it 2 more times. That's it, and now I will lock it back. I will tighten it back. You need to be careful here to not over tighten it, because this bottom is plastic, I think, so it can probably easily break. Okay, like this. Let me just tighten it. This is it, and tighten a little bit more. That's it. And now I will show you how it sucks the fluid in when you release the clutch. Okay, you could see that the line moved, and you could hear the sound when the fluid was sucked in. So as you can see, I have put here let me show you again the setup. So if I go out, this is the engine bay, and now if I go in, I put the plastic bottle there with the wheel arch, and the line was to the bleeding valve, was connected to the bleeding valve. Now when I will remove it, as you can see, I put also a little bit of paper towels here, because when I will remove the bleeding valve, it will go a little bit probably of fluid out, but I will pinch it so that as little as possible it will go out. Okay, so I have pinched it, and now I'm removing the line up. I'm getting the line up, and as you can see, the fluid went to the bottle because it's high, so I need to go like here through this one. Yeah, that's it. Also this little bit of fluid, let me just move like this, and that's it. All of the fluid went inside the bottle, and now I will just take out the bottle. That's it, and the bottle is out. As you can see, the fluid is a little bit dirty, so even if the car was not used, the fluid was 9 years old, so it was good to replace it. And now I will just clean the breather valve and put on the rubber seal. Let me just move this. Okay, like this. Let me remove the paper towels. That's it. I need to put the rubber seal back on. And this is it. And that's it. Brake fluid and clutch fluid were replaced. Everything went almost as it should be. There was a little bit of problem with the clutch fluid because I needed to unscrew the bleeding nipple a little bit more than I thought, but everything else was okay. So if I just show you now here, you can see that the fluid is exactly to the maximum sign, so as it should be. So this should be now okay for 2 or 3 years. What can I say? Be very careful if you are doing this, not to contaminate the fluid, and you need to unscrew the bleeding nipples for the brakes around 1/4 of a turn, and for the clutch 1 turn, whole turn, that it goes out. And I used the whole liter of the fluid. I used the factory fluid, Audi fluid, so that this should be okay. Thank you for watching. I hope that it will be helpful, and drive safe and smile when you drive, because driving is fun. Bye.